giving you the real from A to Z surrounding the Dallas Cowboys. News, updates, rumors, transactions, takes, and more. So strap up, Cowboys Nation, and start your day off with A to Z Sports. Live with Will Steele.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go. Good morning, good people. Welcome to A to Z Sports Live, presented by the Cochran Firm and Boston Scientific, streaming live on YouTube and Facebook. I am your host, Will Skywalker Steele. Boom! No, Trey. We finna talk about them. Coming up today, we're going to preview the Cowboys defense against the Rams offense. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. But we're also going to jump back into the lab and look at this Cowboys defense and how they performed on Sunday, where they struggled in that run game. Some good things they did to counter that. And we got to give some plates, man. I got a couple plates I'm going to pass out, some leftovers to some guys that were worthy, and there will be two of them defensively. So make sure y'all stick around for that. In a roundup, we got the injury updates. Dallas loses another starter, and we get some encouraging news from a rookie, right, who may come back in this whole fold here, but be cautious, you know. Hold your horses on this rookie. It may not be what you think, but nonetheless, it's good news for him in general. And then Dallas signed somebody as well. So we'll get into all that in the roundup. More Dak Prescott updates as well. So stick around, Cowboys Nation. Shout out to the Bomb Squad.
Bomb Squad!
Appreciate you, CJ. Yeah, man, listen, bro. I know I'm in Texas, and technically fall don't really start until like November, December. But I'm East Coast born, man. Once September 20th hit, it's Timbs and hoodies. Now, I'm not going to wear a hoodie every day, but I love hoodie season, so I'm just getting started a little bit early here, man. Just getting started a little bit early. I see we got almost 150 of y'all already up in here combined on Facebook and YouTube. Appreciate y'all for joining me this morning. I love it. I love it. I love it. Toxic is already in the chat causing up a stir. I appreciate that. Y'all always causing up a little something in there. But it's good, it's fun, and I like to do the back and forth with y'all as well. But we're gonna take a look at this matchup. We all watched the Monday night game. We'll dive into that. When we dive into it, it won't be a whole lot. We know what the Rams are. But I do want to jump back into the lab and have some fun on defense, because defensive tape is fun to watch when you perform the way the Cowboys have been performing of late. So we'll look at that live. Derek says, Sky, you know we've been waiting on you. Yeah, I know, brother. I know. So look, before we get into the roundup, before we get into the Cowboys defense, just bear with me for a second here. Somebody in the chat yesterday hit me up, or not hit me up, said in the chat, hey, Sky, did you hear what Kellen Moore had to say about, hey, man, we got to run the ball more. I understand how we can run the ball. And I said, well, no, I didn't. But let me go back and watch. Let me go back and listen. So I did do that. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. I came away a little bit encouraged from the fact that he's understanding these things. But when Kellen Moore said this part in his interview, he was laughing and keying. But I was a bit concerned, man. But here's what Kellen Moore had to say about, not sticking to the run early in his career.
Earlier in your play calling career, were you as persistent with the run when you're kind of beating your head against the wall like that?
Everything inside of me wanted to throw the football the entire Sunday. So, but you learn, you grow.
Kellen, everything inside of you wanted to throw the ball all day. Now, I know he's playing, but is he? I feel like Kellen Moore was sitting on the sideline. I just want to throw the ball here. Just holding it in. But here's the thing. As long as he's learning and he's growing, I'm okay with it. I don't like that he said that publicly. It makes me a little bit nervous. But as long as he's learning and he's growing, that's all that matters. As long as he's on the sideline and he doesn't let it out and he is shaking like this, he wants to do it so bad, but he doesn't do it, I'm cool. But when you get your quarterback back, don't go back into that bag if we got to throw the ball 40, 45 times. Let's not do that, okay? Let's continue to do what works best for this team. But did anybody else, listen to that and come away like, huh? I mean, we kind of knew this. Like, we've been saying it for, 2-3 years now. Like, that's what he wants to do. But him to come out publicly and say it was interesting. And that, again, I personally think that has a lot to do with this man, Mike McCarthy, saying, nah, bro. Listen, I'm on a hot seat. We're not just going to throw the ball all over the field. And he wanted to. And honestly, in that game, because of the secondary, I was shocked he didn't do it more. Because that is a Kellen Moore staple right there. Oh, this secondary is trash. We're going to throw this rock all over the field. But I think because they didn't, and they stayed tried and true to the run, the play action was actually the best thing they could have done in that game, and it helped them out tremendously. So, hey, Kellen, hat tip to you. You just keep learning, and you just keep growing. All right? Let's get into this roundup.
It's time! It's time! It's time!
It's time. It's time.
It is time for
It's time for the morning roundup. Round 'em up, boys.
Hey. Yo. Couple updates, all pretty much injury related. Jerry went on the radio. I'm not even going to talk about what Jerry said, but Jerry went on the radio and talked about this whole situation with Dak Prescott. And he let out something at the very end when he was like, yeah, he's still not gripping it. Well, I think it was Calvin Watkins that talked to somebody with a person close with, person with knowledge of the injury. Maybe it was Jerry, I don't know. But he said the fracture is still healing and the fracture is still healing. The plate and screws give it a chance for a quicker return. Strength is not good enough yet to play, according to a person with knowledge of the injury. So what I figured after I saw his hand on Sunday, he ain't playing this week. We can go ahead and get that out the way, because today they'll start prepping for the Rams, and if he's not being able to grip it yesterday, there's no need to do it. He needs a full week. Remember yesterday we talked about that, according to McCarthy. So we're going to roll with old Coop. Rush. Going into this Rams game, and I still think Dallas can get the dub. And we'll talk about all that throughout this week in the pregame and the postgame, all that good stuff. So that's the quick update on Dak Prescott. Kind of nothing really changing here. This will be week 4. The initial prognosis was 6 to 8. Then Jerry elected not to put him on IR, which I still think I don't understand why he did that, but we want to practice and all this other. I don't think practice is going to do anything. I mean, he's been here forever. Anyway, we'll probably see him either after the Eagles or during the Eagles game. Kind of, I don't want to say this snuck by anybody, because Cowboys Nation, if you're a diehard fan, if you have social media, if you have the internet, you know this happened. Cowboys lose their long snapper, Jake McQuaid. Tore his tricep, which I didn't hear anything about this coming out of the game. Now, it's a long snapper, so, I mean, maybe people just don't care. But yesterday, it dropped that he's out for the season. And it was so funny because the Cowboys, the media wave went this. Cowboys lose long snapper. 5 minutes later. Cowboys working out 2 long snappers. 3 minutes later. Cowboys signed long snapper Matt Overton. That didn't take long. Which it can't take long. You need a long snapper. So Matt Overton, all right, been in the league since 2007, made the Pro Bowl in 2013. So he's not some young buck. My question is, how does this affect Brian Anger and Brett Maher? because this connection has been working to perfection. Bars. McQuaid, Anger, Maher. McQuaid, Anger, Maher. It's been great. And I know it might seem like, oh, it's just a long snapper. And yeah, at the end of the day, it is just a long snapper. But we went from LP Latisseur, all world in my opinion, to Jake McQuaid, who's been pretty much all world in my opinion. Now to a guy we don't know much about. So we'll see how this affects Maher and those boys. And then Damon Clark. Now this one kind of came out of the blue. We are going into week 5. So technically week 6, I think or week 8 is when you got to make that decision. Here's the tweet from Todd Archer on Damon Clark. Remember who had the neck back situation. My neck and my back. Look for the Cowboys to open the practice window for rookie linebacker Damon Clark, who's been on the non-football injury list because of a neck surgery. As soon as this Wednesday, once he starts practice, Cowboys have 21 days before needing to add him to the 53-man roster or keep him on NFI for the season. And then he said this part right here. If he contributes this year, likely, mostly on special teams. Wanted to point that out because we had a massive conversation yesterday, and really we've been talking about this for a long time. The linebacker position, getting some youth, getting some athleticism, getting some different guys in there. And obviously Damon Clark was drafted to kind of play that a part of that. Probably not this year due to his injury, more so next year. But hearing Todd say if he contributes this year, likely mostly on special teams, I look at that a couple ways. Kind of what I was saying yesterday. For whatever reason, they're just not rolling with these young bucks. They're not really giving them a chance just yet. And until it burns them, I don't know that, hey, it is what it is. It's Dan Quinn. It's hard for me to argue with it. But monitor this thing over the next 3 weeks. Meaning, if if Devin Harper, if Jabril Cox, hell, Luke Gifford, if you want to throw him in there, if none of these guys get significant snaps at linebacker over the next 3 weeks, I don't foresee Damon Clark getting any significant snaps when he comes back. So what I'm talking about is significant snaps at linebacker. Get him out there if he can get out there later in the season with no issues. Run around, hit some people, see how he feels in regards to special teams. But for whatever reason, man, they're just not throwing these young guys in there just yet. And honestly, Dan Quinn's going to look at this thing and say, well, why right now? You know what I mean? Special Case said, man, we got to stay away from pre-injured linebackers. Yeah, we had this conversation draft season. That's what they love to do. Now I will say this, Special K. The risk that they took prior used to be big time picks, right? 2nd round picks. 5th round pick, I mean, it's, that's icing on the cake, right? Like if he works out, awesome. If he doesn't, it's a 5th round pick. So I'm okay with that because I believe if he was healthy, he'd be a 2nd round pick. But devil's advocate to my devil's advocate, that's how it was with Jalen. That's how it was with Sean. That's how it was with all these guys that kind of went around later because of their injuries, right? That's how I'm with it, Nick. He said 5th round is okay. 2nd round is definitely the risk. And for whatever reason, Jerry, that's his risk round. Jalen, let's be honest. Sean Lee is another one. No one we don't talk about. It worked out for the most part, but Sean Lee had terrible knee injuries at Penn State. Took him in the 2nd round. Bruce Carter, where did Bruce go? Bruce 3rd, 4th round. Bruce Carter, another injury guy. Half-heartedly worked out. Another risk was obviously Randy Gregory. That kind of, again, man, listen, these risk factors in round 2, we got to chill just a little bit. Kelvin Joseph, we got to chill just a little bit. But round 5, I'm cool with it. Tuck in the building was good. Come on, man. Devontae Holloman was late, though, wasn't he? Devontae Holloman like a 4th-round pick, something like that? Okay, yeah. Bruce was 2nd. That's what I thought. Tuck said, yeah, 5th-round pick is low risk. Ask Amari Cooper. Come on, man. Let me get to a call real quick before we jump into a little bit of this defense from Saturday. I got a trend that continued that I think you guys will like. I think we got we got Danny on the line. Hold up, Danny. I'm gonna get to you, Danny. Who's the first one up on the Pulse of the Nation hotline presented by the Cochran Firm. We just had our visit with the Cochran Firm on Monday. Fantastic visit. Great place. Got a chance to kick it with Brian and Larry, our 2 managing partners at the Cochran Firm. I always tell y'all and joke around about how the drivers are in Dallas, but I'm dead serious. Y'all suck. Love y'all, but y'all suck. And if you get into an accident around here or a fender bender or anything like that, pick up the phone, call Larry and Brian. If you get into any personal injury, any wrongful death, fraud, truck, automobile, pick up the phone, call Larry and Brian at the Cochran Firm. They handle all their civil cases on a contingent fee basis, so that means if there's no financial recovery, they charge no fee. Visit CochranTexas.com or call them at 1-800-THE-FIRM. I need to get the firm drop. Keep saying that. Danny, what's good, man?
Mom squad. I'm going to make this quick. I'm nice and calm. The espresso hasn't kicked in yet. But as a father, as a coach, as an aspiring player again, can we please sit Damon Clark out for a year? We're going to bring this kid back for special teams. We're going to risk a setback, an injury for special teams. I don't think it will happen. I think this is just Stephanie just getting people to talk about Dallas all over again. But come on, this is not like bringing primetime back for special teams to take back punts. You want to risk this kid's neck for special teams? Sky, come on. Tell me if I'm right or wrong, and I respect your opinion.
No, Danny, I'm not. I don't wholeheartedly disagree with you because from a outsider looking in, I hear about the neck and the nerve damage, or not nerve damage, but I can't remember specifically what was it again, Danny? Specifically, I don't want to speak wrong.
Fusion. He had his neck fused.
The fusion.
He had a fusion. That's where they fuse the bone.
Right.
That's where they take 2 vertebrae and they're fused together.
Right.
So there's less range of motion.
Dr. Danny.
But all I'm trying to say is, like, I know you're a no, I just have a real bad back, so I know. No joke. I've spent over $10,000 on stem cell treatments on my back.
Got that,
no
that
joke.
Manning,
I swear.
Manning surgery.
That's why, you know what I'm saying? That's why I'll be back on the field in 2023. But I'm just saying, as a you're a father. Yo, listen, this kid has talent. Yes, he does. Come on, man. This is all just a publicity stunt. But to bring this kid back for special teams, that would be – it's not like Dion – like healing his hamstring at halftime and then coming out and beating the Giants single-handedly.
Well, Danny,
it's different.
I don't think this is a publicity stunt because it's Damon Clark. It's a 5th-round pick. Like he's not making any headlines in national media. Here's my counter to that. That's why I started off with from the outside looking in. From the outside looking in, I said this when we drafted the kid. I would love to redshirt him to make sure he is A-OK next year. He'll have a full year and some change to get back into this thing. When we talked to the doctor, remember the Doc Talk interview we did months ago?
Yes.
He basically said, it's a type of injury, and if I'm paraphrasing here, we can go back and listen. It's a type of, not injury, recovery, where it's really up to the bone. It's really up to the fusion, healing itself, and that's pretty much it. It's not really it shouldn't affect his range of motion or anything like that. It's when that is done healing. So if the docs say it's done and he's good to go, I can't argue it from an outsider's perspective. But when you listen and you hear about the neck and the fusion, that is concerning, and I would err on the side of caution as opposed to the other side due to the fact that he's a rookie, and I don't necessarily think he's going to come in and move the needle in December. You know what I mean? And no,
No,
I don't think so. So, there is two
I
sides to
agree
this
with
thing.
you. There's definitely two sides, but there also was a doctor that said Tua was fine to go back in the game against the Ravens. So, let's not get started on doctors. 'Cause that's a whole different conversation. But there was a doctor that said, yeah, Tua was fine. It's his back, not his head. And then, he's probably going to miss the next 6 games. But like I said, before the espresso kicks in, great call as always, great content, you know what I'm trying to say? And we just got to pray. We just put Diggs on Coop, and we should be fine.
Oh, we'll get to that, Danny.
Great call.
Yeah, stick around, brother. Appreciate you calling in.
What happened?
I said we'll get to that later, Danny. I said thanks for the call. Stick around.
Oh, you got it, man. All right, great call. I'm out.
Some part of me feels like Danny got like a great call merchandise at his crib. Like he just got great call merch. Love it. Great cool. Yeah, I am definitely more on the cautious side of Damon Clark. I don't think we need to rush him back. And again, I don't know if we're rushing him. I'm not a doctor. I'm not there. But I know you brought up Miami's training staff. It's Miami. Dallas has done. I think Dallas has done a pretty good job. Britt Brown and those boys, Dr. Cooper. These guys don't seem like they bring back guys early. In fact, they seem like they hold them out longer. I trust the training staff. Let's get to my stat that is continuing to cause quarterbacks trouble with this Cowboys defense. And it ain't got nothing to do really with the linebackers. We brought up this time to throw stat after week 2 when I just noticed that these boys is getting the ball out pretty goddamn on fast. I mean, how normal is this? I'll come to find out it ain't that normal. We got 4 games, right? I mean, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. Can't get fooled again. I always use that one because, man, George Bush was hilarious. It's 4 times now, and 3 of the 4 times is really when it mattered. And we'll get to Daniel Jones. Tom Brady got the ball out at 2.19 seconds. I don't know if people understand how ridiculously fast that is. That makes no sense. It would be the fastest release of his career. Joe Burrow got the ball out the 6th fastest of his career, and he still got sacked like 6 times. Carson Wentz last week, he got the ball out the 2nd fastest of his career. You want to know what the first fastest time was? Against the Dallas Cowboys. Yep. And then Daniel Jones actually bucked that trend. He actually held the ball a little bit longer, but here's the problem with him holding the ball a little bit longer. He got pressured, a career high, and sacked 5 times with an interception. So it is abundantly clear. Quarterbacks, offensive coordinators, whatever you want to call it, they are looking at this pass rush. And I know I got Micah right there because Mike is a part of it, but this is a collective team effort. They're looking at this pass rush and they're like, we cannot hold this rock. Can't do it. Won't do it. They can't. Because the pass rush is too ferocious. And a couple weeks ago, we had brought up the fact that, my bad too, I didn't put the phone line up here. We brought up the fact that these turnovers were going to start to come because of this. You had one against Daniel Jones. Could have had multiple. The next week, you got, I'm going to consider it 4. I know in the stat book it's going to say 2, but 2 interceptions, and then they had turnover on downs twice. So you had 4 situations where the ball reversed field, whether it be a turnover or a turnover on downs. And this week, you get Matt Stafford. And we'll talk about Matt Stafford in a second. So, it's a cool little stat that I want to kind of keep track of. And not for, because a lot of people early in the season, well, Cooper Rush gets the ball out the 2nd fastest in the league. Nobody's saying that anymore because he's like 9th in the league, but when quarterbacks are getting the ball out fast on you as a defense, that actually means way more. And you can tell way more about that than the opposite. So I'm going to keep track of this stat, man. And I think it'll be a telling one to show how ferocious this pass rush is. And I personally think it may be the best in the league, but man, that's just me. All right, let me get to we'll finish. We'll get to 2 callers and we're going to jump in and look at this tape from Sunday. What's up, 801?
Hey, Sky, how's it going?
It's going, man.
Good. Hey, I just had a quick thought. I liked Danny's call about Damon Clark and just why they would bring him back. And a couple questions for you. Is LVE and Anthony Barr, are they both on 1-year deals?
Yes.
So I wonder if the purpose of bringing Damon Clark back is just to get him on the sideline to be able to have some veterans to be able to kind of help explain the game as it's happening. Because if you're on the NFI, you can't be on the sideline with the rest of the team, right?
Yeah, you can't be a part of the game, but I have a hard time believing that that's a part of it because you also you don't have time on game day to be teaching a rookie, right? Like you're going to the sideline
Sure.
and either you're trying to get your breath or you're you're talking amongst your teammates about what's happening out there, talking to your coaches about what's happening out there. But he
Sure.
can, he can be at the facility and things like that. Plus, he's practicing now. He's practicing. He's going to be able to practice. So that's the time to really kind of talk to him about it.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh well,
Okay,
Professor O said Clark was.
My only thought is like.
He was. Professor O said he was on the sideline last week. So I guess you can be on NFI. I think if you're on injured reserve, it's a bit of a different situation.
Okay. Gotcha. Well, hey, I want to be quick. I just have one question for you, and it's kind of in regards to the whole like Cooper Rush thing. I've been talking with a bunch of my coworkers, and they're obviously not as pay attention to the film or watch the film crowd. And I'm just trying to like figure out like what is the best way to explain like why Dak is clearly the better option. I know there's stats and everything, and this whole argument of quarterbacks that just know how to win kind of infuriates me because I do believe that Dak is the better option. I do believe that once he is able to get back in the fold, it'll just elevate the offense like you and Voch have been talking about. And I was just curious to get your thoughts like on that phrase of just, quarterbacks that know how to win with all this noise around Cooper Rush and the job that he's been doing. I think he's been doing fine. Like he's been doing great.
Fantastic job.
What are your thoughts on that?
What is the specific question? So I'll make sure I answer this correctly.
No, I rambled there, but what are your thoughts on quarterbacks that know how to win games? Is that a myth or is that not? Because I believe that Cooper Rush is doing well, but I don't think it's him solely that's winning.
No, I don't necessarily think that's a myth, right? Because one of the things that I've been saying all off season that I want to see Dak get back to doing is finishing. I call it finishing, which some people will call that, winning. But finishing the drives at the end of the games, finishing the games and whatnot, because he was doing that at a high clip his first 3 years and did not so much the last 3 years. Injury in 1 year, but nonetheless, he still had opportunities before that. Not all the time is that on him. No, but last year I thought we saw that kind of turning a little bit, and then the injury happened, and he went back to we just weren't finishing at the end of the games. A lot of people like to bring up Tim Tebow when it comes to the winning quarterback situation type of thing. For my entire life, that I've been able to speak this way about football, I've always thought that the quarterback winning thing is I don't want to use the term overrated, but the statistic is so overrated because this is the ultimate team game. But as analysts and as fans, or as talking heads, I should say, not even really analysts, I shouldn't give them that credit. They're going to pick and choose their spots because it's perfect for content, it's perfect for ratings and whatnot. I don't know how we can look at the start of this season and not compliment this entire team and be like, man, if you want to look up the definition of complimentary football, Dallas Cowboys defense, one of the best in the league. Dallas Cowboys offense, not turning the ball over. I know they called him back, but whatever. Not turning the ball over, doing just enough, right? Complimentary to your defense. Dallas Cowboys special teams has to be one of the best in the league with Turpin being that guy as a punt returner. Your kicker is 10 for 11. Only missed field goal was a 59-yarder. And then I got to give kudos to coaching for flipping the script. Whether you want to compliment that to Mike McCarthy or Kellen Moore, whatever you want to do, they said, okay, we got to fix something out. So coaching, defense, offense, special teams, that is the definition of complimentary football, man. And I think we'd be remiss if we just give all that credit to one person, whether it be Dak Prescott, Cooper Rush, or all that blame when a loss eventually happens, because y'all, it's going to happen. All that blame to a Cooper Rush or Dak Prescott. But people don't like to live in that logical. It's not fun. You know what I mean? It's more fun to do the other thing. It's more controversial to do the other thing. So.
Yeah, no, I hear you, and that makes sense. I appreciate you, Sky. I'll let you get to the other caller, and hey, keep up the great show, man.
Thank you, brother. Good call. Good call.
All right, thanks. Bye.
Yeah, I mean, look up the definition of complimentary football. Dallas is playing it right now. Flat out. Sammy Ball. I'm talking about, man. Aaron says, why is it such a dilemma to have a good backup quarterback? I don't know. It honestly blows my mind that we want one or the other. I'm happy to have a good backup. Aaron, I don't really feed into this thing. But obviously we get the questions, and it's a national media talking point. I'm telling you right now, internally it's not. It's just not. This is a great thing, and I'm going to keep treating it that way, and we'll keep on trucking along week to week. Keep getting these dubs. I don't care how or who. Keep doing it. Point blank, period. Hilarious. Dak's good for a pick once a game. See people like that. He threw 10 interceptions in 16 games. You do the math. He has one of the best touchdown interception ratios in the NFL history. You do the math. You know, people just say things. It's really weird. James. What's good, James?
How's it going?
Man, it's going, bro.
Yeah, just real quick, I think on the Damon Clark thing, I think a lot of us want to see him play, but I think a lot of us agree that we want to see him play when he's 100%.
Yeah.
You know, but that was just my comment. But the other comment and then the question is that I think what you were talking about, because Botch was talking about that, I think the other day too, about how quarterbacks against our defense are trying to get the ball out quicker. That to me, that's a sign of respect. Because they know they cannot hold on to the ball, because we gonna get that quarterback. So my question is for you, if we just keep doing what we're doing and tackle, and not miss a lot of tackles, I think it kind of plays into our hands. What do you think defensively?
Say that last part.
I think it plays into our hands, where I think it gives us a better advantage on defense, where we can, get our offense back on the field to score and whatever. So, what do you think? I think it plays into our hands defensively.
What quarterback is getting the ball out fast?
Yeah, because I think it's a sign of respect that they're wanting to do that, because they know they're going to get sacked.
Oh, of course it is. Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's yes, absolutely. Quarterback is getting the ball out fast means 9 times out of 10 they don't have enough time to go deep. And, one of the things that the Cowboys last year had an issue with was giving up explosive plays through the air. Now, this year, that hasn't been the case. There's only been a handful of those. Most of them came in week 1.
Right.
But, you want the quarterback to get back there and have to get rid of the ball now, because that means most likely their yards per pass attempt is going to be low, because they're getting it out, 5-6 yards down the field, or a screen, or right at the line of scrimmage. Then in another way also, you want to get them in those third and mediums or third and longs, because now they have to hold the ball. And if they don't, then you're just going to throw it short and we're going to tackle you. I mean, you want to know a perfect example of this is the Bengals game. Go watch Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow did not even want to go through his reads at certain points of that game. Joe Burrow got to the line of scrimmage and said, no, timeout. Mike is over there. No more empty sets. So, this is absolutely a fantastic thing.
But see, the thing is also, too, that the last point that I'm going to make real quick here is that and I think we all agree with this. See now, and I think you said it on with Vox the other day. I think you said this actually. Is that see now it's pick your poison. Now who do you want to sack you? I mean, you got Micah Parsons, you got Tank, Dante. I can't remember his first name. I want to say Dante Fowler. I hope I'm right on the first name.
Yeah, Dante Fowler.
But I mean, see now we got so many cats, in there. I mean, now I think you said this. It's like pick your poison. Who do you want to sack you?
Yeah, we got. There was a stat yesterday I saw on Twitter. The Eagles are the only team with 5 guys that have multiple sacks. Well, Dallas has 4 guys with multiple sacks, so it's not like it's far. We're far behind. So 4.
Yeah, I like the defense, man. I really do. And I'll tell you one, and I'll just tell you real quick, man. Like I said, I like your show. I like when you and Voch do your thing, man, because it's definitely educational. I've been watching football since 1980, but I listen to you guys all the time, and I still find myself learning things. So thank you for what you do, Sky. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, brother. I'm learning every day myself, man. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. All right, man. Have a good, blessed day.
You as well. All right, let's jump into this defense right quick. Let me make sure I got it all lined up for y'all. Let's jump into this defense right quick. Oh, so you're just gonna freeze on me? All right, here we go. A couple quick things before we actually get into the lab. Y'all wanted me to go back and watch LV and Anthony Brown, and we'll detail them. And one of the things I said yesterday before I even watched it was, I'm probably going to look at LVE the same way I've been looking at LVE. Yeah, he is who he is to me. I didn't see anything different. So I went in there and watched over the first 3 games. He's LVE. He is what he is. I thought the Cowboys' run defense struggled early in that game for 2 different reasons. They had issues with the pre-snap at snap type of motion situation where you got a wide receiver going this way, then a tight end's coming that way. All that causes a hezzy from your linebackers, and this takes 1 split second. And not only LVE, but Barr, both of them really, I don't think they can afford that tick because they don't have the same athleticism as they used to have, right? And also the fits were weird. We're going to look at a couple plays where, clearly there was a numbers advantage, and for whatever reason, you're not bumping down. And I wonder if they were worried about that pre-snap, at-snap motion. I don't know the cause. I'm not in there. But I think you saw a lot of the fits getting really weird. And then in the second half, Dan Quinn kind of tightened that line of scrimmage a bit, moved Mike up a little bit, moved those linebackers up a little bit. It was more disciplined fits, and you saw a better result. The only reason they got a big play in the second half on the ground was because of missed tackle, right? But back to LVE. One thing that I keep coming away from with LVE is, we said this yesterday, when he told Micah Parsons, hey, man, and I'm paraphrasing, you can't make every play. You got to let the play come to you and things like that. He truly plays that way. Like, he plays a way where I'm not going to go make the play. I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do. Now, Scott, you're probably like, well, what's wrong with that? Nothing's wrong with it, but it's, to me, what separates somebody from being a really damn good player and just a guy is the guy that goes out there and makes the play. And you just see LVE, okay, I'm going to try to force it back inside, and that's fine. That's what you're supposed to do. But when we do need him to ad lib, right? Like, oh, man, I can't come back inside. I got to go get it. Can't go do that. He just can't. So the same thing with me with LVE. Nothing really changed. Now, Anthony Brown, y'all owe him an apology. I know he gave that touchdown pass up, but I was expecting to go look at the tape and see him getting cooked all day. He didn't. Y'all crazy. But let's go ahead. Let's jump into this thing. The other thing was the coverage was fantastic in my opinion all night, all day, whatever you want to call it. And the pass rush, of course, was beastie. We're going to let some of these roll. And Bo Hanna, man, I could have gave him a plate, but Big Bo took the plate. Big Bo was getting held, I think, a lot in this game, but this is the first play, and you can see what I'm talking about with LVE. Very hesitant, and he doesn't have the juice to get there. See how they're worried about this? They're worried about this. Both of them, honestly. Even Dono. And they just don't got the juice. Micah Parsons is closing that down. That's LVE, though. Let's see what we got on this one. Just a routine tackle here from LVE. Nothing special. I think this is the Bohanna clip where he got held. No. Just routine. Oh, run that back right quick. This is another thing that makes Bo, that I've noticed with Bo this year. Brian getting moved off of these. Like bruh's not, he's clogging up these lanes and he's allowing these linebackers to get home. I think he's played top 2-3. And this was the one play that stood out the most for LVE to me was the timing of this blitz. Shout out to Dan Quinn, how he talked about this timing. They practice on this thing. Tap, tap, coming. Causes the center to attach to him, and you get an easy sack for Nev Gallimore. He gets my plate too, by the way, y'all. Bohanna, look at this. Bo is being held. I yelled at the screen on this one. Call the hold, ref. Literally the very next play. Watch Bohanna. Throw the goddamn flag. Bo was pissed off, man. They threw the flag, and we get the hold. Bohanna has been causing trouble for these centers and these guards all year, and I'm very impressed with his initial step and his initial move. He is getting home a lot with that initial move. Good on Bo. Just more good defense. Oh, shout out to Tristan, too. Tristan definitely goes on a walk, man. Tristan Hill doesn't do too well when they run at him. This is a double team. But shout out to Tristan Hill. I think he played a damn good game, especially when Bo went out. But this was his best game of the season by far. Let's take a look at some coverage here. Oh, okay. This is why I wanted to point this one out. We're going to go back to this Tampa 2 look later on in the game. And just watch the safeties and how they play this. They play it appropriately. You're going to see later on it's not played right. Look where the corners are, playing their depth. The safeties playing their depth. And a great play by Donovan Wilson. Now, later in the game, you're going to see a play get made, and you'll see why. Okay, this is the one I'm talking about, right? Where LVE wants to, hey, man, we got to, and this ain't really on LVE. My fault. This ain't the one. This one, to me, is on Dante Fowler. You got to contain the edge better on this. And he's trying, you got to make it come back inside to LVE. But because LVE is LVE, he's not going to be able to get there, shoot off the gap, or recorrect himself and make the tackle, right? But that to me, that's on Dante Fowler. Got to contain the edge. You want to see how to contain the edge? That man right there will show you. I mean, DeMarcus Lawrence is so underrated in this league. I don't have any more words. More run defense. Let's see what we got. Hitting that outside again. Now, this is a run fit that I hate. I don't know if it's a miscommunication. I don't know what's happening here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you're going to eventually get a tight end on Diggs. I don't know if they're worried about emotion happening or what, but this is a recipe for disaster if you're just an adequate run team. And what happens? They got the numbers advantage. He slips up off of him. He gets a body on a body. Now get a tight end on Trayvon Diggs. And this is not what you want here. And this is what I mean by I think they tightened up their run fits in the second half. Oh, let's check in on Anthony Brown. Pretty good coverage. Let's check back in on Anthony Brown. Pretty good coverage. All right, some more run defense, I think. Okay, so I looked at this play and I said, man, here's the difference between Anthony Barr and LVE. I call it wanting to smoke all the time. Man, it wasn't a great tackle, but Anthony Barr wants to smoke. Huh! LVE is the catcher. It is what it is. Another one. I mean, we're going to have to deal with this. This was the first half, too. We're going to have to deal with this upcoming week. Watch Anthony Barr. Worried about this tight end. This always gets these two. I mean, at least LVE, he's new here, so I know. But worried about this tight end coming back, so LV has to hold a tick, Barr is holding a tick, and we're not firing. And since we're not firing, we're catching, and we get a big run. The Cowboys were the worst team in the NFL last year at snap motion against the run. That's the way to get the Dallas Cowboys, man. Let's check in on Anthony Brown. This was the touchdown. That's the play that got y'all pissed off at AB, and I can dig it. You know what I mean? Really good throw. Really good route. Dropped it in the bucket. Did y'all see AB and Trayvon Diggs on the sideline talking about routes? Thought that was pretty cool. Oh, this was Izzy, man. Shout out to Israel Mukuamu. Look how he takes on this center or this guard. I can't remember who it was. It's the guard. Gets off the day. Oh, that's too quick. Oh, no. We got to run that back. Gets off the block and makes the tackle. And he got pretty hype after that, too. Very impressed with Israel Mukuamu, man, this year. His physicality. He's got something to him moving forward. More run defense. Now, this is where you saw a little bit of a difference in the second half. Michael was kind of a little bit far back here. They're playing this. This is a 4-3 technically, but I would consider it an over in a way. Michael's going to press this way harder than he did in the first half, and straight up destroys that. Another player that I think helped make this happen is Quentin Bohanna. Bo was going to get on number 77 so damn fast. Look at this goddamn center. Nick Martin. That first move with Bo is unbelievable. He gets on 77, and it doesn't allow him to get to the second level, and you get free guys coming to the ball. That's how you adjust. Here comes the motion. Much better communication. You heard them in that sounds of the sideline. Talk. Much better communication on the motion. If they don't have anybody cracking back, which they did here, and they did get caught up, but the defensive line, the interior, did enough destruction to hold that thing down. More run defense? Yes, sir. I mean, this is Neville Gallimore, man, being a grown-ass man. Get off of me. Osa had a good game, too, by the way. Hey, let me tell you something about DeMarcus Lawrence coming backside. This is the last person you want to let go free. Or not DeMarcus Lawrence, Dante Fowler coming backside. Look how fast Dante Fowler comes in. You don't want this guy to just get free reign. Great play by Dante. By the way, he's my guy that got the second plate. Let's take a look at Anthony Brown here. Just good zone coverage. Plays his area. More AB. Shout out to Dorrance Armstrong, man. DA's been playing some damn good ball this year. Right over here. But D hit. I love how he sticks his nose in there. Did y'all see my new name for these boys, the three safeties? I'm going to show y'all after we done here. Okay, this is the play I was talking about. Now, I'm not saying that he's a safety. I think this is Deron Bland. Yes, that's Deron Bland. But you can tell the difference here in assignments. I'm going to pause it here in a second. Look where Malik Hooker is at the top of this drop. He's on the outside of the numbers. And look where Deron Bland is trending. He's moving towards the inside of the numbers. AB, Diggs are playing their depth. AB's expecting help over here. Now, granted, he did scramble, and that causes this. I get there's a guy here, and he could have threw that up as a layup, so he put them in a tough spot, and that's why you run that route. But this is kind of that weakness in this zone coverage. and he tries to get back in time. And I wonder if people looked at this and said, oh, this is on AB. I don't agree. I don't think that's on Anthony Brown. He was playing his depth. We got going on here. Okay, this is the other long run because of that missed tackle rate there. Let's run it back. LVE again. Hey, I'm just going to do my job here, man. I'm going to force this thing back inside. Then I'm going to force it back inside. He could have hammered down a little bit harder, and you should get the tackle here, and maybe you give up 6 or 7. Instead, you give up 20 plus. That's LVE's game. I just want to do what I got to do. Let's peek back in on Anthony Brown. Pretty good coverage. Let's keep this thing moving. Oh, this was a sack, I believe. Man, Dante, when we talked about Dante Fowler, man, I don't know why people thought that he lost it, but if you just popped on the Atlanta tape, you saw the juice was still there. Watch his hand technique right here. This dip spin. Just he's got the swipe in the hand, sees he's got the leverage, spins on him, give me that sack, fumble. Another shout out to Dorrance Armstrong in there too. Let's check back in on Anthony Brown. Y'all wanted me to check in on him. What you got for us, AB? Just more solid coverage. I mean, I don't see a guy getting burnt there. And the final play of the game, shout out to Deron Bland with the pick, with the plan, anything but. I mean, Jordan Lewis better get back fast, man. So that's some of what the Cowboys did there against the Washington football people. I thought way more good than bad. But hey, I thought they corrected themselves in the second half from a run fit standpoint. They were much better. But it still is, in a way, their kryptonite. But I'll go a step further with it. I don't necessarily think it's just running, right? I think it's the pre-snap stuff. It's the at snap, and post-snap movement that gets the Cowboys off their rockers. And it's because you have linebackers who just are not, and just be honest, they're not playmaking linebackers, right? So they rely more so on their IQ. And if they are off a tick, they don't have the athleticism to recover. I thought against the Bengals, though, the communication and the knowing of what was coming was much better. In this game, you can just see the hesitance, right? They were so hesitant on what was going because you had a tight end coming this way, a wide receiver going that way, a guard pulling, and it confused them. The D-line, besides, I think that one play with Dante Fowler, he kind of came inside a little bit too quick and didn't contain on the outside. The D-line played fine to me. The interior was the best part of the entire game, was the interior defensive line. They played fantastic. I think you're going to need a repeat of that against this Rams offense. I do. And we'll talk about that here in a quick second. So hope y'all enjoyed this one, man. Trey said, I don't know what the first part said. So QB and AB is getting cooked, Sky. Not sure what that means. But he said, we'll see if I'm going to call in and apologize again. Those two going to piss us off in the Rams game. I don't know who those two are, but it depends. It depends what they do, how they match this thing up. And as a matter of fact, let's just go ahead and do it. Let's just go ahead and get into the Rams right quick. Let's talk about it. Because I do think it depends on how Dan Quinn elects to attack this situation. Now, again, like I said, we don't have to go super crazy on film with the Rams. We know what they are. We know what this Sean McVay offense is. But this Sean McVay offense is in a rut right now. It's one of the most lopsided offenses in the NFL. And what I mean by that is they don't run the ball much at all. They're 31st in rushing attempts per game. They never were a running team, but that's just who they are right at this second. Also, they just aren't scoring a lot of points. They only scored 20 or more than 20 once, and that was in week 2 against the Falcons, who they've given up 20 points or more in every game. So, they're in a tough spot right now trying to figure things out, and they're about to run into a buzzsaw of a defense. So, hopefully they don't figure it out this week, and quite frankly, I don't think they will. But yeah, they just don't care about running, y'all. Darrell Henderson is a guy, Cam Akers, respectfully, they're talents in their own right, and they split backfield duties, but they don't get the ball that much. They're the bottom of the league in rushing first down percentages, and they only have a total of 82 rushing attempts all year, and that's 31st. But like we just talked about, like we just saw in the film, very much like the Washington game, it's going to be about eye discipline with these backers and safeties as well, and about this defensive line being disruptive up front. Gotta be disruptive up front, because they do all that pre-snap, at snap. That stuff don't matter if your interior is getting in the backfield. It don't matter. In regards to the passing game, I mean, Matt Stafford, he's having one of the worst starts of his career. 4 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. He leads the league in picks. He's second in turnovers. He's a guy that's going to give you the ball, or give you opportunities to give you the ball. He's also a guy that got the damn arm and arm talent to throw that thing anywhere on field from weird ways. But I want him to throw the ball a lot in this game. I want him to. Crazy thing about Matt, though, 5 of his 6 interceptions have come when he's been kept clean. So to me, that's an indication that he's just not making good decisions, or he's throwing bad passes. So if they can't run well, the quarterback is struggling, what is one thing that could counter all that? I think is going to be the screen game. We talk about how poor we are in the screen game. Well, teams like the Rams, teams like the Niners, teams like the Eagles, the Chiefs, they like to run a ton of screens, and they like to run them in a creative way. And we're going to have to be prepared for that screen game, especially if Matt Stafford's operation clock is going to be sped up. So you got to be wary of those screen games. Offensive line, they got some injury issues up front. We watched that game last week. They don't get a lot of movement on the ground. To me, they're not a physical team. Very much finesse. We want to get you going one way, we go the other way. We want to trick you. They don't want to run the ball from a physical standpoint. And I personally don't think this is going to turn into one of those Todd Gurley Ram games against the Cowboys. They don't have a Todd Gurley, and they don't have that mindset anymore. They want to throw the rock. And they've given up the second most sacks because of 2 terrible performances, that pretty much bookend their seasons. Week 1, they gave up 7 sacks. Last week, they gave up 7 sacks. Dallas Cowboys coming to town. Second in the league in sacks. And then finally, we look at their pass catchers, and we'll start from the back here. Cooper Kupp. I mean, what more can we say about Cooper Kupp? The most targeted wide receiver in the NFL. Very versatile guy. He's going to move around the field. He's going to be everywhere. Right now, 42 receptions, 400 yards, 3 touchdowns. It's pretty much Kupp or bust with this passing offense, to be honest. The guy that's second on their team is Bennett, and we'll get to that Bennett. I can never say his last name right, so I ain't going to try it. But let's talk about that Kupp matchup. I think this is going to be very interesting to see what Dan Quinn decides to do. Do you star coverage him with Trayvon Diggs? Kupp is he'll route you up. Kupp can one of the best route runners in the league, sure. But from a physical standpoint, it ain't scare me like that. It's kind of how they use him. He's a fantastic wide receiver, don't get me wrong. Or do you bracket him with, the Deron Blands of the world, the ABs, and you rely on the pass rush? Do you double? Do you bracket? And you put Diggs on someone else, Tyler Higbee or Bennett? We just gonna say Bennett. And I know you probably like, hey, bro, where Allen Robinson at? That's what I want to know. Allen Robinson got 7 receptions on the season, man. There's a hilarious meme out there. Hilarious. About Allen Robinson, asking for more targets with the Rams. I'll go try to find that. Tyler Higbee, he's their guy. He's their second leading receiver on the team. He's a guy they'll try to match up with the LVEs and Anthony Barr, so we got to be careful with that. But Bennett, thou shalt not say his last name. He's an interesting player. He's actually second on the team in receptions for wide receivers, but what's most fascinating about this dude is that you'll see him in the backfield a whole lot. A damn wide receiver. I mean, he got like fullback snaps. 34 snaps in the backfield. We're not talking about Debo, and he's not getting used like Debo back there. He's a big dude, 6'3", 2 something, but that's Sean McVay for you. He's a mad scientist. He's going to do a lot of things, but ultimately, I think with this offense, I personally think it's going to come down to dealing with their quick game. We saw this stat, right? We keep talking about this stat. I don't think this is going to change. I think Sean McVay, Matt Stafford are going to look at this and they're going to try to get the ball out fast. Maybe not right away. Maybe they'll try to test it, but they're going to get tested. What's that mean? If you around, you're going to find out. I think the Rams are going to around. And they're going to find out real fast. We can't be, messing around in this backfield and holding the rock because they're going to find out that pass offense or that pass protection is terrible with one of the best pass rushers in the NFL. So I do think they're going to try to speed this thing up. A lot of screens, a lot of quick passes to Cooper Kupp. And you just got to deal with that quick game. If they deal with that quick game, I don't think they're going to stick to running the rock. Again, this ain't Todd Gurley. This ain't 2017 when he came into Dallas and ran all over the Cowboys. This ain't 2018 when we went to LA and he ran all over. This ain't that. They don't even want to run the ball like that. So deal with that quick game. And I think Dallas is, 9 points last week, 10 points week 1. I don't see, listen, man, this ain't the Rams of yesteryear. They're in a rut right now. So I think this is an advantage. Dallas, just don't let it be the week Allen Robinson finds his way and AB is getting cooked by Allen Robinson, right? Just don't let that be that week. That's all I'm saying. All right, let me get the Los so we're going to hop back into the chat. What's good, Los?
Good morning, Sky, man. I hope you're having a great morning.
Oh, yeah, indeed.
Hey, almost time to set those Rams out of their misery. Quick points on these offense, just 2. Sean McVay, he wants to run the ball to set up passes to make it easier for Matt Stafford. And I think that's no secret. And let's not forget, Sky, these are way different teams, right? But in that playoff game, 2 of their running backs went off for 100 yards each. Sorry about. So if you get your hands on someone in the backfield, you better perform in your tackles. And in saying that, I think Micah, the linebacker, and Wilson, the hitman, I feel they're going to be all over the field this game in particular, and just basically be all over the place to, put a licking on these Rams. And to end my observation about these Rams, I think Matt Stafford is not a QB you should fear at all. You said it, Sky. Doesn't he lead the league in interceptions?
Yeah, he leads the league in interceptions and second in turnovers.
Yeah, exactly. And with this defense, not saying that you should take him lightly neither, but do what you do. Put pressure on him and make him do the mistakes he has shown to force the ball with a shorter window. Because one thing I do not want to allow him is just to have a clean, empty pocket and for him to keep finding these empty spaces with Kupp or anything. And, I don't know how we're going to lock up Kupp. Kupp is going to do Kupp things. That's no secret.
Well, here's the thing, bro. Here's the thing. Cooper Kupp had 75 receptions last week for 7,000 yards, and they still only scored 9 points. So, what Cooper Kupp? Let me listen to me for a second here. You know how we got to treat Cooper Kupp? You got to treat him like Saquon. You're probably that don't even make sense. No, listen to me. Saquon Barkley, he'll bust one on you. All right, pause. He'll take one to the crib if you allow him. Yeah, because I know how y'all are. But yeah, he'll take one to the crib if you allow him. Just don't allow him to. Let him get his little 3-4 yards. Let Cooper Kupp get his little 15 catches for 120 yards. As long as he ain't scoring, as long as they ain't scoring, you're good. That's how we got to treat it.
Exactly.
And I think that was yeah, terrible. Go ahead.
I think that was I don't know, because I was bend and don't break with Kupp. Basically, don't let him get out these one-on-ones with say this rookie Bland and break it open with, all seeing green. Because I'm not saying Bland did a bad job last week.
No.
But if he sees a one-on-one versus Bland, he's going to, with no safety help, I mean, that's asking a lot for a rookie. So just, make sure you have Cup lock up, and I think we should be able to succeed from there. And like I said, Sky, I'm not trying to say the I word. I'm not.
What's the I word?
If our identity can be this offense helping this defense, the more we score points and letting this defense just go ham, man, I mean, we have makings to becoming great, Sky. And that's all I have to say. Peace.
My man, appreciate you. I think the defense is showing you what Micah said in the offseason. I don't care what they do over there. I don't. And I know we want complimentary ball, period. But the defense is playing so well. I'm not saying it does not matter what they do. Because, offensively, you want to continue to play good ball, efficient ball, keep the rock balanced, all that good stuff. You do need to score points, and we're treading, on that mediocre line of scoring points. But your defense gave you the ball back in good field position last week, and you got 3 points. The defense continues to help the offense as long as the offense doesn't turn the ball over. That's the best way, I think, at this moment, the way we're playing offensively, is to help the defense. Just don't turn the ball over. I think it was Jesse and a lot of other people say this. If the series ends with a kick, it's a win. A punt or a field goal. As long as it doesn't end with a turnover, as long as it doesn't end with turnover on downs, a field goal meaning a field goal attempt or a field goal meaning an extra point, it's a dub for the Cowboys at this point, in my opinion. Back to back. We don't really get Reek in back to back. What's good, Reek?
Hey, what's going on, Sky? Hey, what's going on, Cowboy Nation? Like I said, man, long as this dude not turning the ball over, we should be in good shape. And as long as we running the ball at a high clip, and calling good run plays, we should be pretty good, man. My whole thing is like this: I just don't want Aaron Donald disrupting this whole game.
Yeah.
Because I watched some of that San Francisco game. Aaron Donald I didn't even hear his name that much. That's how I want this game to play out too. I'm not really hearing his name that much. So when I'm not hearing his name that much, that means he's not being disruptive like he normally is. You know what I mean? And that's going to put more pressure on the other guys on their defense to step up even more if Aaron Donald's not getting off. So I hope that Kellen Moore and Mike has a real good game plan for these dudes. And I hope they did some real study some real good tape on how they was playing against the 49ers, because the 49ers was aggressive. They was punching them in the mouth. They wasn't letting Cooper get off like that. And they had to try to beat them different ways, and they was smacking everybody. Cooper was the only one that's catching a couple passes. The rest of them dudes really weren't doing too much.
I was about to say, Cooper, that's the thing about Cooper Kupp, what I was trying to say earlier, is we're learning, at least this year, you can allow Cooper Kupp to quote-unquote get off, right? Like you can allow Cooper Kupp to go, how many catches did he have here? 14 receptions for 122 yards, bro, and they scored 9 points. So I'm not even necessarily fearing Cooper Kupp having a productive day. We just can't let him get in the end zone. I think that's where things change. And as long as you can get, hell, I'll go as far as say it hasn't happened often this year until late in the game, but if you can get a 10-point lead, right? It only happened once where the Cowboys had a lead larger than 7 points prior to the first quarter or prior to the third quarter or fourth quarter. But if you can get a 10-point lead, I mean, I know this is probably premature, but I feel good, Reek. Like I feel good.
Yeah, because I look at it like this too, man. It's going to be a big test for our rookie Bland, because Cooper Kupp he likes to be in the slot a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I noticed that Diggs doesn't really travel like that. Brown doesn't really travel like that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Brown can.
I know they're going to key in, huh?
Brown can. But I don't know, man. I'm feeling good. This is what I was going to say about Los. This is very early, but I just something about Deron Bland, man. And this is a tough ask for Cooper Kupp and Deron Bland, because Cooper Kupp is a fantastic route runner. But I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Just something about Deron Bland that I feel like if they give him a little bit of help, give him some bracket coverage, and they say, "Hey, young man, you just go out there, be physical, and play fast. We got you." Just something about him. I don't know, man.
Yeah, man, because I just want our defense to be extra physical and hit this dude. Because we've seen in this last game, once you hit him, he's rattled. He's going to throw a dumb pick. Because that's just the way Matthew Stafford is. He threw it to Baby Palomalo this past week, and he's got a pick six. I don't see why Diggs. Yeah, I don't see why Diggs or somebody can't get a pick six off this dude. We just got to hit him. Keep hitting him, man. But other than that, Scott, that's all I got to say. Let's keep going, Cowboys. Keep this motivation. Keep going forward. Let's get this dub, man. All right, peace.
My guy. Let's get my guy Juan in the building because I know you probably at work and we ain't trying. Listen, man, we won't get you in trouble. What's good, Juan?
What's going on, Scott? How you doing, man? Good morning.
Good morning, good brother. You was at the game on Sunday. I was at
Dub.
The
game was great. The game was great. I just want to fire off a stat here that I was just looking over Cooper Kupp's numbers.
Gotcha.
It was kind of interesting. His numbers right now, the yards per reception is 9.6.
Very
the
low.
lowest in his career.
That's low.
And then his yards per target are 7.4, also the lowest in his career. So it's been a huge deal for the Rams not having Van Jefferson and Odell Beckham. And I think the key in this game is going to have to be tackling. So they can allow all those underneath routes, just run to the ball, tackle, and they should just try to do some type of bracket coverage and just let Trayvon travel with Allen Robinson. I don't think he has good rapport with Stafford, and have Bosa come off the edge. Have Parsons come off the edge all game, kind of like how Bosa did last game. I think it's really going to disrupt the game, and we just got to play turnover-free football, and I think we'll have a good chance to win, come out with the dub in L.A.
Man, that's a fantastic stat. Because it pretty much explains what we were saying, right? Like, hey, if Cooper Kupp gets 14 receptions for 122, that means he's not getting big plays. And 9 yards per reception, that's tight end numbers.
Yeah, 9.6, and it's 7.4 per target. So he's gaining like a yard or two after the catch, So just got to bring him down after the catch. And he only has 8 red zone targets all season. And Allen Robinson has 7. So once they get in that red zone, they seem to struggle to create space for Cooper Kupp or Allen Robinson.
And he was a red zone monster for them last year.
Yeah. So, man, it's I was just looking over the stats, man, and saw some wanted to share with you guys. But I was just having some coffee listening. I'll keep listening, brother. Good seeing you. I'll see you at the next game, and I'll keep listening.
Always good seeing you, brother. Hope you and your family are well. I'll talk to you later.
Appreciate it.
That second part, let me bring it back here. That second part is a little bit alarming. I didn't know that Cooper Kupp only has 8 red zone targets on 50. He has 54 targets this year, 56, something like that, and only 8 of them are in the red zone. Last year, he was a target monster, target hog, and a beast in the red zone. But again, the Rams aren't scoring. They're just not scoring a lot of points. They've more than 20 points one time this season. That's it. All right, what you talking about here? Oh, man, we talking about LVE in the chat. Some of y'all running back the film we watched earlier on LVE? I appreciate it. Reek said sometimes you don't got to rub it in on LVE. I did enough of that for you, Reek. I got you, man. I got you. We got him on the film, man. He is what he is.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
Ain't nothing changed with the man. Now I want to know when are we going to eventually, look at some of these young bucks at some point. That's my only question I got left for the situation, man. When we going to look at, Terrence Park said, LV, like.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting cooked.
Eagles are trash. They just target LVE and Barr. If we let Parsons rush every down, they will slant us to death. Yeah, I again, it's another game where I don't even know that we're going to need Micah to play 53 snaps at defense end. Fill this thing out. Let them around so they can find out. That's all. MJ, not MJ, Marv is about Marv. I don't know what happened, man, but you was calling in every day during the season. And then you
What up,
disappeared on your boy, man. Marv, what's good, man?
Oh man, say, let me check out Steel.
Everything good with you? I was getting a little bit concerned.
Oh no, I'm good. You know.
Hey, Colin, I got
me a good sleep,
man. Go ahead.
Yeah, I guess like I was telling Law, we gotta just stop that run and make sure 55 hit them holes, man. If he could hit them holes and stop being scared, that run defense will be even more better. And
brother, you asking the Tiger to change his stripes?
I know. But I'm proud of Bland. We play bump and run because we can get that fast. If we play bump and run them, we can get to that quarterback real fast, and because he'll throw some more interceptions. Because he's going to try to test us. But we need to test them, you know what I'm saying? And stick to the run. We keep running. Like I've been saying, we run that ball still, we'll keep winning. That's all I got to say, brother.
My man.
Yep, stay balanced. And hit them likes for my boy Steele, y'all.
Please do.
Salute.
Salute. Yo, like, y'all... I don't even have it. Oh, appreciate you, Marv. I didn't know you were still there. The chat is something else. Y'all are hilarious. But I gotta give this is the fan-focused comment of the day. And Marv will have a laugh at this. Trey said, Marv definitely sound like he's sleep in front of the fan. Stop. Ask him, is he sitting up? Stop. Oh, we have a lot of fun up in here, man. Shout out to the Fan Focus comment of the morning. Brought to you by Boston Scientific. ED can affect your self-esteem and impact your most important relationships, y'all. So take a free online assessment, guys, that you can share with your doctor. Click the ad to learn more in the description because there is a permanent satisfying solution to treat ED. So again, click the ad or visit edcure.org to get the facts and find a urologist who can offer treatment options that work when others do not. Again, edcure.org, sponsored by Boston Scientific. Y'all crazy.
You're listening to A to Z Sports.
Do it live!
At some point, hoping to broadcast
in front of the millions
of Cowboys fans to bring you the real. But for now, strap up and here's your host, Skywalker Steele.
I'm Luke Skywalker. I'm here to rescue you. We'll do it live.
I'm done. Yo, Annette, that got me rolling too. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. Y'all get me too.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting cooked.
Marv got a 12-inch pinky fingernail. If that ain't... I can't tell y'all how funny that is to me, man. Oh, my God. Fam, the 12-inch pinky fingernail is crazy. Because I told y'all I knew a pimp growing up named Slim. Slim had them long pinky fingernails, fam. And y'all be calling Marv Magic City Marv. I be calling him a pimp and everything. That is hilarious. Man, rest in peace to my guy Slim. Slim used to come into the crib. Hey, Sleeves, where the kids at? He'll come in there. What y'all want? Ain't but $20 for you. $20. He give all of us $20. Boy, I thought I was rich. $20 at that point in time in my life, I was rich. Where are we going? To Toys R Us. Yo, the 12-inch fingernails is crazy. I'm done. All right, y'all want to call in, y'all can. This show done already went off the rails, man. 351-999-3787. I think we reviewed everything we can today about this matchup. If y'all came here for football and you just dropped in, I'm sorry. You missed all the football stuff. But we reviewed everything we could about the Cowboys defense versus the Rams offense. Tomorrow, we're going to detail the Cowboys offense against this Rams defense. Barry, know what's up. Get some of the pinky voice. Yeah, I gotta get some pinky voice over. Somebody save me. Who's this? 501? 501. Save me, 501. Who this?
What's good with you, Steve?
What up? Who this?
It's Alan, man, from Little Rock, Arkansas, man. What's going on, my brother?
What's up, Alan from Little Rock? How you doing, man?
All right. Hey, I got a couple of questions for you. I understand Cooper Kupp hasn't been no factor, but I'd rather see Diggs on him and let Anthony Brown cover, you know, the receiver that came out of Chicago. Can't think of his name.
Oh, Allen Robinson, yeah.
Right. And then, you know, they opened the 21-day practice, you know, for Damon Clark. So that started today.
Yeah.
To help out with if he's going to end up playing. Then not just only that, J-Ron Curse might be back this game as well. So we have our three-headed monster back in with the safeties. And then just not only that, I would like to see Jason Peters, you know, at the guard spot and see what's going to go on with that, because I don't think Conor McGovern or Fournier is going to be it to make sure that we're good. So we need to get in this later part to get that continuity with the offensive line going into the later part, because I know we're going to make the playoffs, but to go further, we got to have that solid camaraderie once Dak do get back in there, so we'll be fine.
Yeah, that left guard spot, we got to figure out that left guard spot. All this in and out stuff, snip, snap, snip, snap. Eventually, it's going to catch up to you, and I don't think this is the game you want to mess around with. Last week was not a great game for the interior, especially on the left guard side. It ain't going to get easier. So these next two games, you got problems. So, yeah, figure this out, man.
Oh, yeah. But that's all I get, man. I appreciate everything that you do, man. And if it weren't for you, man, I'd be lost in the sauce without my Cowboys news, man. Appreciate everything that you do, man, and salute to you, my brother. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you, fam. I appreciate that. I try to bring y'all quality content and keep y'all up to date as much as possible and have a little fun in the process, man. But he said something. I'm glad he brought it back up. We might be getting that three-headed monster back in J-Ron Curse, Malik Hooker, and Donovan Wilson. J-Rock posted a picture yesterday of a three-headed monster, right? Three-headed dragon. And I got to thinking, like, you know me, I do the wrestling thing. Y'all know the Hurt Business, right? By the way, I said call in. Y'all was not playing. Y'all called up in here, so I'm going to lock this up. I think this is a pretty damn cool little comparison and name for our three-headed monster. It's the Hurt Business. Real quick, man, just bear with me if you don't like wrestling. It is what it is. What they are a new faction, or were a faction. They ain't the thing no more. Where they had, you know, 3 superstars and a manager. MVP was the manager. Dan Quinn is the manager in this case. And the 3 superstars is J-Ron Curse, Donovan Wilson, Malik Hooker. And they bring the pain, a.k.a. the Hurt Business. So how we feeling about I like that. You know what I'm saying? I would love to you know, toss this to Dono or toss this to J-Ron and be like, yo, I want to roll with that a little bit. Because you know how it is nowadays. If you were an ounce of a celebrity, they might be able to hit up WWE and get something going. I think that's popping. Professor O don't like the Hurt Business. I like it, the Hurt Business. Because Dono hits. J-Rock hits. Malik Hooker is shown to me he could hit. Dan Quinn don't make sense in here because, you know, but in a way he does because he is the manager of all those dudes. So I like it, man. Hurt Business. I'm going to roll with it. I figure out how to incorporate that thing. Man, we get back-to-back calls. Trey and Reek on back-to-back days. What's good?
Look, man, I just called in. I'm making sure. I just called in because I know I'll be hot side, and I know I talk a lot of stuff about people that call in and people in the comments. It's all love, guys. If I talk about you, I like you. I ain't gonna lie. Reek, I'm talking about from Sonny to everybody that I bag on. I can't speak for everybody else, but for majority of us, it's really all love, people. So don't get in your feelings. Even when we rag on Sky.
Yeah.
And my last thing that I'm going to say is, if Anthony Brown show up on Sunday, bro, you won't hear me say nothing else about him. But
you ain't got to
I appreciate
lie,
the
Craig.
film.
You ain't got to lie.
No, this is last year on the contract, bro, so I ain't got to worry about it no more. I'm just saying, like, I won't say nothing else about him all year if he show up this next game. And appreciate the tape, man, because we needed that. And you give us great content, bro. You the best on YouTube, real talk.
Man, that's heavy, bro. I appreciate you, Trey.
Much love.
And he's absolutely right, man. If we having fun with you, this is because we like you. That's all that is. I say this all the time, y'all. You cannot laugh at yourself. Don't come here. Please don't. Because y'all be in the chat.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting cooked.
Could you imagine if I was like that thin skinned, how y'all be roasting me in this chat? Jeez. Didn't I get 562? 562. No, I didn't get you. 562. What it do?
Hey, good morning, Sky. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
All right. Hey, two things real quick. I haven't looked at the numbers. I don't know if anyone has them or kept track, but as far as the yak for what the defense has given up, it seems like it's like an all-time low, right? I mean, the Bengals game, they were sticky on everybody as soon as whoever caught a pass, Chase, whoever, they were on them. So that's a huge difference that I've noticed. I mean, most people probably have noticed between this year and the last, 10 years is the yak.
That is interesting. That's a very good point, man. See, this is why I say I be getting ideas and learning from y'all. It sound like you at the airport right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and let you go. But I appreciate the call, good brother. I'll see you later.
All right, man. Thanks.
God damn, motherfucker was taking off. Shit. Yak. Yeah, I didn't. That's not something I was thinking about. I'm trying to remember all the big plays. They were deep ball to Julio. There was a quick screen. Some of the screen stuff with CJ or with Chris Godwin. Nothing against Cincy. Nothing. No yak in the Giants. No yak last week. Yeah, man, not a lot of yak. Last call, gate 5. Or better yet.
Last call, gate 5. Please report to gate 5.
Man, it got worse and worse as it ended, right? Like, yeah, man, I called talking about that yak, and we was talking about that yak, and they ain't gonna get over it. I think we need to get that yak, man. Yeah, oh, dog. Where you was at, but appreciate you calling. 301.
Hey, Scott. What is this? Everything you do.
Thank you.
And I just call on the hurt business dictates. I got another name for you.
What's the name?
What about the fever? Because if you look at Michael Hayes, Buddy Rose, and Terry Gordy, there was
I can't make. One second. What's the name? What was the name you got?
The fevers.
I can't make it out. If y'all can make it out, please let me know.
The fevers.
The Freebirds.
Yes.
All right, I'll talk about that. I'll talk about that name, man. I appreciate the call. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. The Freebirds. To be honest with you, I am a historian of WWE. A historian. I know who they are. I'm appreciative of what they bring. But I'll be damn if I'm J-Rock, if I'm Malik, if I'm Dono, who they probably don't know who the Freebirds are. But for wrestling folks in here, y'all know who the Freebirds are. Ain't no way. You know what I mean? I appreciate the reference. But nah, I'ma stick with the Hurt Business. It just is more, you know what I mean? It fits them more. It fits them more. And y'all cut it out. All right, y'all cut that out now. Hit y'all with the Mike McCarthy smack. Okay, we're done. We hit it a little bit of overtime, but we good. I think we are good here, man. Do me a favor on the way out. If y'all enjoyed today's show, we had a lot of laughs, but I think we broke down some good things. We got the film, took a look at the defense, took a look at this matchup. Ooh, I like the Shield. I do like the Shield. Tomorrow we'll be back. I'll jump into the lab today, take a look at this Rams defense, which I took a very, very small peek as they were playing the Niners. Seems pretty average. Now, that doesn't mean that, that doesn't mean they'll come out and play that way, but because they got some disruptors and they got a good defensive coordinator and things like that. But and also we aren't an explosive offense anymore, so it may even itself out. But I feel good about this game. But we'll talk about that tomorrow. Later tonight, Mauricio Rodriguez will be on and A to Z Sports Primetime. Make sure y'all keep up with me. You can see it right there, scrolling right now. DFW Turf Ticker, the #1 artificial turf in the DFW area. You can check them out at dfwturf.com. At Skywalker Still on Twitter. I'll be on there probably after this show talking about what I'm watching on film. That's what I usually do. And then later today, you can find me on The Volume, 3-ish Mafia with my guy Vash Lombardi. We'll be breaking down more of this game, and we'll be dropping, hopefully, not we, but me and Jesse, Cowboys 4th and Long. Busy day. Wednesdays are busy. We'll be recording our Cowboys 4th and Long podcast and dropping that audio tomorrow morning. What I usually do, if you are not on Twitter, or if you are on Twitter, I'm sorry, I usually post a tweet saying, hey, you got any questions for us for the podcast? Drop it. Let me know. We'll get you in there. I think we got CJ Richards. We got him in there last week. So make sure y'all come on over to the Twitter side of things. I see my guy Authentic in the building. Appreciate Authentic when he comes through an NFC East foe. The Giants are 3-1. I can't believe they're 3-1, but they're 3-1, man. Shout out to them. We got to get the beard up in here, man. Authentic. We got to get the beard up in here. They took a L. Let's keep it going. Who's next? Philly fight. Hey, nah, we ain't bringing Philly fight. Lord Brown. We got to do them dirty first. But all right, y'all. Let me press this button before I get out of here. Here we go. Gang Stars. Like that. But we gonna roll with the Hurt Business for them three. I like it, man. I like it. I'll see y'all later, man. Y'all be safe. Y'all be good. Take care of your mentals. And that chicken, man. We out here. Peace.
Bomb Squad!